The photograph trembled in Maya's hand, the edges softened with age. It showed her grandmother, Elara, a young woman with eyes that held both defiance and a deep, unshakable sadness. Why had Elara hidden this box? Maya had stumbled upon it, tucked away in the attic of her inherited Savannah home, a place overflowing with antique furniture, draped in white sheets and forgotten memories. The house itself was a character, breathing with the weight of generations, whispering secrets Maya was only beginning to understand. She brushed dust from the lid, her fingers tracing the faded inscription, "For the one who remembers." Remember what? Growing up in Chicago, Savannah had been just a postcard image, a distant place associated with humidity and history lessons. Her mother rarely spoke of Elara, only mentioning her in hushed tones. A bittersweet blend of respect and regret. Now, holding the worn photograph, Maya felt an unfamiliar pull, a yearning to connect with a past she barely knew existed. She opened the box. Inside, nestled amongst dried flowers and yellowed letters, was a smooth, dark stone. It felt warm to the touch, pulsating with a faint energy that made the hairs on her arms stand on end. As she held it, images flooded her mind: a bustling marketplace, vibrant colors, the scent of spices hanging heavy in the air, a woman, strong and proud, her face etched with worry, handing the stone to a young girl. The girl was Elara. The letters, bound together with a faded ribbon, told a fragmented story. Elara had been a gifted healer, respected and revered in her community in the Gullah Islands. She possessed an intuitive understanding of herbs and remedies, a knowledge passed down through generations of women in her family. But her gifts had also made her a target. Whispers of witchcraft and devilry had followed her, stoked by fear and prejudice. One letter, dated 1942, spoke of a forced relocation, of the government seizing land for military use, displacing families and erasing centuries of tradition. Ilara, fearing for her daughter's safety. Maya's mother, Lena, had made the agonizing decision to leave, to bury her past and build a new life in the north. Reading Ilara's words, Maya felt a surge of anger, a burning injustice that mirrored the sadness in her grandmother's photograph. She understood now why her mother had been so reluctant to talk about Savannah, about Ilara. The pain of displacement, the sting of prejudice had been too much to bear. Maya spent weeks poring over the letters, piecing together Ilara's story, her own story. She learned of the deep connection her ancestors had with the land, their intimate knowledge of its healing properties, their unwavering commitment to community. She visited the local library, researching the history of the Gullah Islands, the forced relocations, the systemic oppression that had fractured families and erased cultures. The stone she discovered was a seeing stone, a tool used by healers to connect with the spirit world, to diagnose ailments, and to guide their patients towards healing. Holding it, Maya felt a strange resonance, a sense of belonging she had never experienced before. One afternoon, while walking through the overgrown garden behind the house, Maya stumbled upon a hidden grove. Ancient oak trees, draped with Spanish moss, formed a natural canopy, filtering the sunlight into dappled patterns. In the center of the grove, she found a small, weathered stone altar. It was here, she realized, that Ilara had practiced her healing, connecting with the land, drawing strength from her ancestors. An elderly woman, her face etched with wrinkles and wisdom, emerged from the shadows. Her name was Serafina, and she was a descendant of one of the families who had been displaced alongside Ilara. "You have the stone," Serafina said, her voice raspy but kind. "Toyagrad Suitukil. So we must wait a long time for you to find your way back." Serafina told Maya stories of Ilara's kindness, her unwavering spirit, her ability to heal not only bodies but also broken hearts. She spoke of the traditions that had been lost, the knowledge that had been buried, the pain that still lingered. "The land remembers," Serafina said. "It holds the stories, the pain, the resilience of our ancestors. You must listen to it, child. It will guide you." Guided by Serafina and the wisdom of her ancestors, Maya began to reclaim her heritage. She learned about the traditional healing practices of the Gullah people, the power of herbs and remedies, the importance of community and connection to the land. She started a small garden, cultivating the plants her grandmother had written about in her letters. She also began to address the injustices that still plagued the community. She partnered with local activists to advocate for land rights, to preserve Gullah culture, to fight against the systemic oppression that continued to marginalize Black communities. The house in Savannah, once a symbol of a buried past, became a beacon of hope. Maya transformed it into a community center, offering workshops on traditional healing practices, hosting cultural events, and providing a safe space for people to connect and share their story. One evening, as Maya sat on the porch, watching the sunset paint the sky in vibrant hues, she held the seeing stone in her hand. She closed her eyes and listened to the whispers of the wind, the rustling of the leaves, the gentle lapping of the waves. She felt Ilara's presence, her strength, her unwavering spirit. She understood now why Ilara had hidden the box, why she had entrusted it to her granddaughter. It was a legacy of resilience, a reminder of the power of identity, a call to action. Maya was not just remembering the past, she was shaping the future. She was healing the wounds of generations, reclaiming her heritage, and building a brighter tomorrow for her community. The sadness in Ilara's eyes in the photograph had transformed into a glimmer of hope in Maya's. She felt a profound sense of peace, a deep connection to the land, to her ancestors, to herself. She was home, and she was finally free. The photograph no longer trembled. It was held firmly in her hand, a testament to her unwavering strength.